Okay, so here we go. This is another one of my I guess my insights, my little je ne sais quoi. I don't know what to call them yet, but this is when I look at a painting, what do I see from an artist's point of view? So today I'm going to be talking about the Starry Night, one of the most famous paintings, probably the most famous painting. It could be argued, I don't know. So I'm going to be talking about a little bit, just a little quick video because I know I can make them long, about the point of view of the artist, right? From the artist's point of view, what is the Starry Night about? What captivates me? This is in no way an academic explanation of the Starry Night. I couldn't give an academic explanation. I'm not an academic. I'm a painter, and I want to talk to you guys a little bit about the Starry Night. Okay, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about what I see from an artistic point of view, from an artist. If I were to be creating something like this, right? And what does it mean for an artist like me? How's it going, Shanaz? How's it going, Chris? Christina Gonzalez? Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mary, for joining in. Mary Artist. So I'm doing these little short videos about paintings that captivate me and captivate the world, really. I mean, these are, so what do they mean for us, right? What do they mean to us? So this is A Starry Night by the great Vincent van Gogh, post-impressionist. Post means later, right? After the impressionist movement, there was the group of painters that went a little bit more local, right? Not just looser, but different, right? They start doing things different. It's the natural progression of art. So this painting is believed to be painted, to be created in 1889. And it was painted, of course, most of us know that Van Gogh suffered from mental, emotional illness and whatnot, mental things happening to him. So Don McLean interpretation. I love that. So most of us know that, right? So this painting is supposed to be created from the Saint Remy, the Provence or province, whatever. It's a place where he was staying, right? Where he was, I would say in Spanish, internado, right? Where he was getting help, professional help. So here we go. Okay, so first of all, what captivates me the most is that the painting is very much just painted in blue. Okay, from an artistic point of view, I know there's different colors happening, but the painting is very much painted in blue. And I'm not thinking about blue in the sense of Picasso's blue period, right? Maybe Picasso got his idea from watching this guy. But I'm looking at it more from he wasn't fighting. See, many times when artists are creating, I know I've been in this stage where I'm creating artwork and I don't want to fight my mind. Remember that this cat right here was going through some serious mental issues, right? Very hard emotional things, very, very human things happening to him, right? So he didn't want to stress it more. And I think that he found peace in his artwork. As the great Osho says, many artists become mystics, right? Through the pain of the artwork. Did you know Van Gogh had epilepsy? I did not know he had that. No, I did not know. I don't remember, but yeah, I'll take your word for it. I last time I read anything about Van Gogh was I think I was 14, 15 years old. I'm 35, so it's been a while. Thank you so much for letting me know that, Sizemore. So what I see here is there's a vastness, right? As you guys can see here, there's a vastness, disproportion of land, right? I like this. Not only that the color is blue, the reason why I personally think that the whole painting is very much, it could be considered monotone. It could be considered, it's just one color, right? There's different colors happening, but really it's the overpowering of the blue. I think he didn't want to mess with it. He didn't want to F with it, right? I think he didn't want to look and play more with the palette. He was more interested in this than the palette itself, right? He was interested in this. That's happened to me before. I know the feeling. and you tend to use one brush rather than be switching brushes, and you tend to use one or two colors only. And this creates a very good resting place for the mind. Yeah, he was definitely a minister. I think he got that from his father. Thank you so much for that, Sizemore. So I think that the composition, of course, is tremendous. No, like putting the cypress trees right here, right? Is a very clean cut composition. I think, the rule of thirds, right? He's doing the rule of thirds, and then putting center right here, the mass right here, right in the corner of the fourth places where you can do the rule of thirds. I hope I'm not moving the pen too much and stopping the video because of that. So one of the things that captured me the most out of this painting too is, of course, the sky is so large, meaning he's looking for vastness, right? As many esoteric or philosophical, experiential philosophical beliefs are about space, right? Having space, peace of mind, right? So I believe that he's finding a lot here. And this is the world, of course, right? That's why Jesus is like the kingdom of heaven. It's space. And this is the world, right? Whoops. Sorry about that, guys. Let me... Let's pause this. All right. So here we go. And not only was the sky so large, right? Looking for a piece of heaven, if you would, right? Again, this is not an academic or scholar. I'm not a scholar. I'm not an academic. I'm an artist, and I'm looking at it from an artist's point of view. One of the things that Soul Banker says, "Who is the prostitute Van Gogh gave his left ear?" I have no idea. I have no idea who the prostitute is. Some people say that it was a prostitute. Other people say that it was just a friend. Other people say that it might have been Galgan that made him cray, right? Who knows? I have no idea who that person was. So here's what I find really interesting about this painting. I know a lot of people are like, oh, the colors, oh, the movement, this and that. It is the movement for me. For me, it's the movement. I think he was rocking himself. I know this sounds crazy, but I believe he was rocking himself. I find a lot of peace if I stop paying attention to what I'm painting. Putting more attention, but paying attention to my mind is really what I'm trying to say. So, and Van Gogh, as in his writings, we know he thought about that. He wrote about that, right? So I believe he's rocking himself. Why? Well, I remember taking some singing vocal classes, right? Just because I'm cool like that. So one day I was like, I'm gonna take some vocal lessons. And I took some vocal lessons by someone who was very prominent in the community that taught very much all of the mariachi, which is the singers and Spanish mariachi singers, how to sing and how to harmonize and whatnot. And I remember, she was in the Mickey Mouse. I think she sang somewhere in the Mickey Mouse Club or something like that. She's an older lady, very, very beautiful soul. And she taught me something very interesting. Now, I didn't stay long enough to really learn how to sing, but I got some ideas and definitely some practice for whatever time I was there, taking lessons from her. But she taught me something very interesting that I started applying in painting. And when I saw this, right, every time I see this, it reminds me of it. She said she would get me to use a chalk, right, and be in front of a chalkboard. And every time that I sang, she made me do circles, right? She made me do circles. At first, I didn't understand, but I had to do circles in the chalk, continuous circles, right? Just continuous circles, and continuous circles, right? And do the vocalization with continuous circles, right? Until my true voice, the voice came out, and I wasn't forcing it, and I wasn't using anything but my true voice, right? Everybody has the true voice that we're not using through our throat, right? So, anyways, she had me do this, right? As I'm singing and practicing, I'm going like this. So I never asked, right? I just trusted her. And one day I happened to ask her, and I was like, why do you have me doing swirls, right? As it seems that Van Gogh does a lot in his paintings, right? And she said, I'm getting you to get you out of your mind, because if you use your mind, if you're thinking, you can't think and sing, she told me. And I was like, how interesting. I can never think and paint either, right? She said, you can't think and sing. You either have to sing or you think, one or the other. And one way to do that is to rock the mind. You're essentially rocking your mind, right? You're resting your mind as you're doing this. And this is the thing that got me the most, caught me the most attention in this painting, that I feel like he's constantly doing that, even as he essentially, what he's doing is he's keeping a momentum, a rhythm of movement. And it makes total sense that this guy is in a very painful situation in his life, in a very painful moment, and he's doing this. He's painting this from a, to me, this is, I don't know everyone else. This is my show, so I'm going to talk about what I think, right? To me, this is a very spiritual, healing, Zen painting. And I believe that by looking at this, if you look deep enough, you find rest. And I believe that this is one of the reasons why it's so famous. Maybe people don't know that, but as you're looking at it, your mind is resting. And when the mind rests, the heart, right? The heart is happy. The heart opens. Because you're not in a critical moment. You're not in this avalanche of thoughts, right? The mind gets to rest, right? And I believe that that's why he did these swirls. I find myself moving, not in this rhythm. This is a very organized rhythm, right? But I believe that he's doing that. And anyways, I just wanted to share that with you guys, because I think it's very interesting that he was able to share with us and capture the rhythm of, maybe, possibly, according to me anyways, the rocking of his mind. There's a baby crying, right? A baby inside the ego was crying, and he needed to rock the ego, right? He needed to rock it. He needed to make sure that his mental, the mental aspect of him, needed to rest, and he created movement with his hands, right? As the little old lady who was teaching me how to sing told me, just keep moving, keep doing this. She told me, keep doing this. And sooner or later, the more you practice it, you're going to start finding out that the mind will rest and the voice will flourish. The voice will come out. This is a beautiful practice. She learned this. She was in her, I don't know, like last time I talked to her, I think she was like in her early 90s or late 80s. She had extensive experience. She was an opera singer. She had extensive experience singing. And I thought it was very interesting how the correlation of that and painting, right? How it's really the same thing, When you do something masterful like this painting, the Starry Night, you're really resting the mind. You're really resting the mind. Not that there's anything wrong with the mind. No, the mind is a tool. It's just that we confuse it with life, right? We confuse it with life. And that's why it becomes a difficult thing to bear many times. For poor Van Gogh, it cost him his life. For many people, sadly. But anyways, guys, I just wanted to show you this. I think Van Gogh was definitely a poet of, a color poet. But I think he achieved somewhere, maybe in some instances of his life, maybe not his whole life, of course, but some places there he achieved a master level of being a mystic. I don't know. I think he was definitely a philosopher in the true sense, right? Essentially, guys, in another way here to say it too, he was transforming base metal, right, into gold. Painting many times is the philosopher's stone. I know it sounds weird for some of you, but painting is alchemy. He's using the painting to turn his pain into something beautiful. So he's creating something very, very, very beautiful. Thank you so much, Soul Vanker. I really appreciate that. guys, thank you so much for joining me on this little segment. Maybe one day I'll get to do them without shaking my hands and putting my fingers all in there and being like, ah. But I believe I'm a true believer that content is more important. And one day, maybe not long, I'll get to do this with a very beautiful sound recording, a great mic, and I don't know, maybe some flash stuff right here, pictures moving and whatnot. But I want you guys to get the message. That's what I care most about. So thank you so much. Like it, share it, give me some hearts, whatever. It's all good. I just wanted to share this moment with you guys. Take care, and I hope you guys keep continuing having a wonderful day. And when you feel down or whatever, you know, one of those moments, look at one of these paintings. This painting is pure alchemy. Take care. Bye-bye.